Alright guys, I am back on this Wednesday night trying to get in front of this tune, because before we know it, that date is going to pop up. So today's the 4th or the 3rd, I think it's the 4th. Today's the 4th and we don't have that many days left, so I have to try to make sure that one, the TPS, the QED TPS fixes our problem, or two, I have to get a new ISCV. So they're my currently options right now. And it's also a good thing that I'm jumping back on my DSLR, because as much as I like the DJI Action, the upload times are taking forever. The file sizes aren't that big, but it's probably something to do with the compression or the format or something. It's just, I pretty much started uploading it probably in the afternoon, probably at 5 o'clock, and it's still uploading. And that's only uploading for me to edit the file into my video editor. So after that, it's just taking forever. So I got to figure out why. Maybe it's the way that the video is made or something. I don't know enough about it, but good old DSLR. So we're gonna do that. So let me go get my Acuity TPS. It's kind of cold, isn't it? It's kind of cold, isn't it? Maybe we should get the car into here. Nah, I'll be quick, hopefully. That's what she said. So, alright, leave that with me and I'll try to get this sorted, and hopefully, you know, if we can clear up all these issues, then we can move on to the next issue. If there are any issues, maybe this is the last one, who knows. Much needed. We've got this guy running tonight, so interesting enough, I found this pretty cool angle. It worked better if there was more lighting, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Alright, let's take off the TPS. And also, you know how last time we were talking about the bung for that airflow sensor? I bought it. I surprise myself sometimes. So hopefully the TPS is the culprit, and if it's the culprit, that means we fix the issue. However, if it's not the issue, it means that we now have a spare TPS. And I dropped that nut. Success. Alright, so out with the old. I really need a light there. Let there be light. Alright, perfect. Where to put the sensor? What the? I feel a little bit scammed from my friend because they look the same. This thing better be foolproof. Not gonna lie, feel a little bit scammed at the moment. So hopefully it addresses our problem, the problem that we made up, because other than this, it could be the ISCV, is what someone else said. But my Google searches have led me in this direction. So what I should do is start splicing these long vlogs into searchable videos for people. Alright, and then we have to run inside, grab the laptop. But before that, I could probably just test it, right? And just see if the throttle goes up and down. If the throttle still goes up and down, then clearly we have not fixed the situation. Right? What do you guys think? Do I just start it? and see if it fixes the problem. And just bear in mind that this sensor, my air temperature sensor, is not plugged in, so it's actually quite hard to tell. Let's jump in the car. Let's see what happens. All right, we're kind of desperate right now, so. So that's good. Maybe it's going up and down like that because it's a little bit cold. So I think we are in the clear for that one. I got the check engine light on. That one's a hard one to tell whether or not they actually fixed the problem. I'll probably have to test it tomorrow. But first of all, I'll get that laptop out and I'll see what that check engine light is. So we have the error code P0134, which is air fuel ratio. So the AF sensor, which is probably telling us it's the O2 sensor. And I've got a few spare ones, so I could probably swap that in. But let me just quickly Google it and see what we can do about it, just to be sure. All right, so it appears that a lot of people have had this problem before. Some people are just saying that you can just drive around and it should clear itself. Otherwise, maybe when I did the transmission, I probably tugged on one of the wires a little bit too hard and it's probably come undone. So we're gonna check that up and have a look and see is there anything that I did. Hopefully it's not, and hopefully it's just a random code that's appearing. Fingers crossed, but we'll do that. So it's been a while since you guys have followed me to watch me jack up a car, so at least check out my form. How's that, guys? I'm gassed. Surely it can't be just me, the only person that's hijacking out their car. I know a certain someone in the friends group that doesn't have to do anything like this anymore because they've got a hoist. Like, I'd love to get a hoist, but I've got commitment issues. One minute I'm doing this, next minute I'll probably sell my cars or something. So I do need more space though. Maybe. We don't have a hoist, but we do have this creeper that Miss Lindbear has purchased. So that'll do. That'll do. Basically, from my position here, the only thing I can do is take it for a drive and hopefully it clears itself. Very strange that it pop up all of a sudden. But Well, since I'm down here, do I just change the sensor? What do I do? What do you do, Jack? What do you do? This is what we're dealing with at the moment. So, we've got the projectors on. I still need the adapter for that because that's just floating around. So, we need this guy, yellows. So, I need to find out how do I get that. Maybe I should change these ones as well. I'm not too sure. You know what's my favorite thing to do in the middle of the night? No, actually, you know what my favorite thing to do is at 9:40 at night time? It's pull apart the headlights to figure out how I wired it all those years ago. So I've just fixed the indicators on the car because obviously if I'm going to be driving it on the road, I've got to have indicators. See why things are happening the way they are. Yeah, not looking forward to this. So I definitely need to repolish these headlights. But my question is, what the hell is this? It goes at the back of the light. It goes at the back of the light and sits out there. So when I turn on the power for the headlights, I get power into this, which tells me this is a plug for something. But what is it for? There are no other plugs. It doesn't reach anything. So, unless that's for the fog light looms. Can someone confirm if that's for the fog light loom? Or maybe I can run, maybe I can run my underglow to that. If that's not to do with something. So let me know what that's for, because I have no idea. So a little bit frustrating. From the headlight side, everything works. I can get my yellow high beam to pop up, my Parker, my normal headlights, my actual high beam, indicators, everything works as it should. But the problem is on the wiring side. It doesn't seem to be triggering, or I don't know if there is a manual trigger for yellow high beam. It's not popping up, so I'm thinking maybe a switch. But before I get to that point, I think I have to just figure out why things are happening the way they are. I've never dealt with the Jetty in front before, so this is somewhat annoying and somewhat interesting, but more so annoying because I'm on a timeline schedule. Works on this side. I managed to get everything to work as it should, but like I said, I'm just trying to figure out why on the other side things aren't happening. Apologize in advance. The first person FOV, first point of view. Yeah, FPV view might be a little bit bumpy, but this is what I'm working with. Alright, first things first. I need to calibrate the new TPS and make sure it's working 0 to 100 as good as possible, and then we'll take it for a test drive around the block and see if we can get that O2 sensor light to disappear. So other than that, I'll just be wiring the headlight and see what other issues there are. So sad enough, we're not going anywhere. I just found a leak. Seems to be leaking from the radiator. Found it. It's just there, but I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's that connector, but I haven't touched it. So I'm going to readjust that fitting, that hose clamp, and see if that fixes the problem. To get a couple of rotations out of it. And since I'm here, that belt's really annoying me, so I'm just going to swap the belt over. I should have done that, but I was trying to cheap out. Alright, so new belt is on. we lost, like the car wasn't started for that long, but we lost a fair bit of fluid quickly. So I'm assuming that's saved. So I'm going to start it up again and see. Beautiful. No more noise. We're looking for coolant leak. So that seems pretty good. I'm gonna take the car out for a test drive, and then let's just see if we can clear up this TPS issue or this idle driving stuttering issue, and then obviously try to clear out the O2 sensor as well. Right, so that's sorted. We still don't have any indicators, and I was gonna address that, but one thing at a time, right? So let me just try to get you guys all set up, and you guys get to focus on me, the car. So, alright, so as I was about to drive, guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, I lost my throttle cable, so I've got to put this guy back on. Can we go yet? Looks like it's about to rain. Just checking whether the throttle has been fixed. Sorry, you guys are going to be following my head, so I'll try not to move too much. So it seems like we have fixed that issue. Oh, what was that? Alright, so I'm holding 60. Revs aren't dropping. Drives relatively quite fine. A little bit bumpy, obviously. Let's take it out to one of the main roads. And it sounds like I have to take off that dust shield. Alright. Bumpy as hell. Yeah, no, seems fixed. Holding steady speed. It's not jolting, jittering. I do feel a little bit of a jolting, but that is most likely because of the tune. Alright, we're waiting for the O2 sensor light to come off. And like I said, car's drivable. More so. So once we correct the tune, I think everything should be fine. So off the gas, let's roll it in neutral. Shifter probably needs some greasing. You guys can hear that spooling. And load of vibration coming through this area here. So we'll do a couple more laps of this area just to see if we can get the engine temp up and that fan kicking on. But at the moment, everything seems to be quite cool. Ooh. Sorry guys, that's me, that's not the car, that is all me. And my wipers don't work, so that's something I have to address as well. Alright, they're the fixes that I have to do today. Brakes work perfectly. Couple of noises of vibrations around the chassis of the car that I've got to address. Just because it's going to annoy me. Alright. Alright, so TPS issue. Oh, lighting. So TPS issue fixed. I'm pretty sure it's fixed because the car drives so much better. Other issues that I'm having with the car is that check engine light for the O2 sensor. Only thing I can do is swap out the O2 sensor. I think that's the fastest way. And I've got a couple of rattles and noises and bumps and just things that are quite uncomfortable with the car that I've got to address. So I'll jump on top of that and see how we go. So, as you know, Melbourne, it started raining, so I've got to pull the Integra inside just so I can start tinkering around with all those things that I have to fix, make the most of today. Maybe not pulling the car. Alright, so we've got the car up, and the problem is it's coming not from the same area. It seems to be coming from underneath that hose, so it must be leaking from that join that we made. If it was just a couple of drops here and there, but it seems like we have to figure out exactly where and how tight we have to do it. I think I see it. I think I see it sweating just from the fitting. And that's another thing. The DJI camera can't do that. Can't just zoom in on a flash. But it is very versatile. But I think my go-to vlogging camera has to be the Canon DSLR. I can't say DSLR pretty far. The big camera, all right? So I think the big camera is the way to go. So I'm gonna address this problem. Hopefully I don't have to take it off because I don't want to lose more coolant. I'm out of money. So I still have the previous fan switch that I made for the car, inside the car. And I'm gonna be wiring up this little connector. And I kind of just added the end bit to it. So I just made it look like that. So I just added an additional cable towards it. And then hopefully the idea for that would be to make it work with the existing setup. So I'm gonna add this onto it, and then come tune day, if the fan doesn't switch on, we'll just switch it on manually and we're good to go. So every time I wire up this side's running fine. Jump on this side stops working. And it's probably making me think that I've probably blown a fuse. So I'm gonna check that and see if that's fixed. But seriously, since my last update with you guys, I've just been doing this. And it shouldn't be this complicated. I've got the lights and everything's working, but it's just getting one side to the other side, and this side, the fuse, there's a Parker fuse somewhere that I can't locate and find. Right now I'm just eating chocolate, trying to not stress out completely. But it's very frustrating. So this side was all buttoned up. All buttoned up. Those are jumper wires. Maybe that's the reason why it's not working. I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna try to check out the fuses. All right, let's let you guys see the drama I'm having. All right, so we're getting power. So light, just like, so we're getting power, right? We're getting power all through there. Except for that one, that's because that's the indicator, say power. So the problem is, it's not going through here, but it was going through here. So I'm gonna take off this harness, this connector, plug everything in directly into this one, and see what happens. Don't you headlight? Oh, that one comes on. This does not work. That headlight is on. See? Just like that. I'm out of time. And it makes no sense. This side working perfectly fine. Parker, except for the high beam. High beam's not working. And I don't know why. It could be a fuse. Actually, it could be a fuse. It was working before. Alright, I'll check the fuse. But this guy, Mr. Right Headlight, every time I plug in that harness, especially the purple one triggers the fog light. It makes everything contacted. But it's not just that. I've tried it and I said, hey, what happens if I just plug in that one? Actually, yeah, it's just this one. So something in this one is causing it to go crazy. And I am going to pull this apart, but just not now because I'm out of time. I'll come back probably later tonight and try to figure it out. But it's just every time I touch it. Oh, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what's going through my mind. And maybe, just maybe, you guys can figure it out before I figure it out. Alright, so this is where having the DJI would come in handy, because everything would be nice and simple. Because it'd be light. Where are you? Ah, damn it. Anyways, I'll try to show you. Oh. Alright. Anyways, I'll try to show you. Alright. Sit this as close as possible. Alright. We'll disconnect the purple and plug everything in. See? Everything's plugged in. Nothing works though. Nothing works, even though I'm getting power through everything. So, test light. Let me grab a point. Check it out. Light. Light. Oh, that one's no light because there's nothing plugged in there. Light. So, light. Light. No light because that's, oh, that's concerning. Because that's the ground. Alright, never mind. I think I found it. Anyways, I can't do this with one hand. I'm just frustrated right now. Sorry guys. Alright, sorry guys. I got tricked. My daughter tricked me. I think she knows I have OCD. She got me to start a puzzle. She started a puzzle with me and she left me and I couldn't stop. Anyways, I found out the culprit of my electrical issue, and the culprit was that guy, that box right there. That box right there. That's the OEM part. And what was happening was, I'm not too sure why or what caused it, but something was causing it to short. The ground was shorting across the whole unit. So whenever I plugged the ground into that, all the metal surfaces became grounded. It took me a while to figure out. I thought it was initially the cable, then I traced it back to here. I rewired everything down to here, and then once I connected it all up again, I had the same problem. So I just went back to whatever felt right. So I managed to fix that. It's taken me probably two hours figuring that out. And any person with a multimeter would have figured it out probably in like 10 minutes. So I am going to make it a point to learn how to use a multimeter. First of all, I have to get one. So also, interesting fact is, I was initially about to buy a new set of like adapters for my LED lights, but I managed to find a packet in the drawer saying 9006 or something, which is pretty much the variant adapter that I needed to get the headlight inside the bulb. So I'll let you guys know. I'll show you basically what I've managed to fix now. So you can see the headlight. You can see the headlight there. Hopefully the camera doesn't tip over. And I've got my test station here. So you'll see we have sorry, I'm just trying to get a good hold here. Parker's beams, what's this? That's my fog light. And like I said, we've also adapted my front headlights. So everything's working as it should now. That's it. Can't really complain about that. So spent the whole day trying to fix up this, and that car should be relatively road ready, minus the O2 sensor that I haven't changed yet. Maybe I'll give that another crack tomorrow and see how we go. I don't know if there's anything else, but I'm pretty sure that once we start driving the car again, I'm gonna find more leaks, I'm gonna find more problems. So see ya, bye. Man, I was trying to get ahead, but you know, I was like, oh, since I'm here, I might as well change the O2 sensor for the car and get it that over and done with. And then, lo and behold, who the hell changes the O2 sensor to a Deutsch connector? Who? It's like, seriously, if it comes with its own sensor and connector, why bother changing it? Why bother changing it? It makes no sense. And now I've got a Deutsch connector that I have to go buy, either make a harness, a plug and play harness, or decide to get rid of it. And it shouldn't even be that hard. I try to get ahead of it, and this is what happens when I try to be motivated. See, stupid shit like this.